This is a 3-month update of my meditation practice. So 3 months ago I started a 10-day Vipassana retreat, and I've been tracking my progress in terms of meditating since then, and also the effects of the meditation. So I've been meditating about 2 hours a day on average, 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour in the evening. And I've been tracking my progress on this little chart here. So there's, you can see, it's about 3 months. This last month, you can see that I've, a few days I only meditated for 1 hour, 1 hour in the, 1 hour a day, and then one day I didn't meditate at all. So, so it's been a little bit inconsistent this month, but it's been, most days I've meditated 2 hours a day. I wrote more extensive information about the changes I'd seen in the 1 month and 2 month updates. This time the changes and the benefits are more global and simpler to explain, I think. So one of the things that I've really noticed has been happening is that I tend to not take things as personally as I used to. So when someone else is reacting or says something or does something that usually in the past I might have taken and thought about and felt upset about and maybe even reacted to and behaved aggressively or hurtfully, I'm much more likely now to just perceive perceive what's happening, and then perhaps think about it a little bit, and then be able to see the other perspective, or to just basically not react and not take it so personally. One example was recently we were at I was at a friend's house, and we were sitting around a fire, and I said something and my friend said something, and then I said something, and like he said something where it sounded like I realized I could take it as being that he was kind of being nasty or being judgmental or something. And I heard it, and immediately I could feel that there was an unpleasant sensation in my body. And instead of reacting and going into a whole cycle, I was able to have some space around it. And I realized that either he was meaning to be hurtful on some level, whether consciously or unconsciously, or maybe he wasn't. Maybe he felt embarrassed because of what he had said, and he was trying to correct what he said. And I realized there were all these different possible things that could have been going on with him. And I really didn't need to react or have a reaction to it. And it enabled me to have more compassion for him. And that was one example. Another example was today. We were at me and Cindy, my wife, were at our gym. And I drank from the clean canteen water bottle we have. I drank some, and then I saw Cindy, and I thought, oh, maybe she'll want some. So I handed it out to her, and she started to walk towards me, and she didn't really come up close enough to take it from me. So I rotated my body and handed it to her kind of side on, And she said to me, you know that in somatic psychology, that's body language for kind of like stay away. It's kind of a kind of a disconnecting kind of thing. And when she said that, I felt hurt. Immediately I felt hurt. And I kind of got a little bit reactive, but I was able to very quickly, first of all, realize that I was hurt, realize that I was feeling reactive, and be able to say to her, when you said that to me, I felt hurt. And also then to have some awareness around what was happening with me, in that I was actually, instead of standing there and holding face on and holding the water out and letting her come all the way to me to take it, I was basically extending, going beyond my center, moving away from my center to go towards her, to give it to her. but I wasn't actually walking towards her. I was saying, I'm going to stand here, but I'm going to like turn side onto you and I'm going to hand it to you like this. And I realized that it would have been much more powerful if I just stood there and like let her come to get it. And there's a much cleaner interaction. It would have been a much cleaner interaction. So it helped me to get awareness of what was going on with me in that moment that led to that interaction that caused me to then cause her to feel some upset. And later on she told me that when I had done that, you know, how it made her feel. And then it caused me to have some upset, and we'd got into this little bit of a cycle. So that's the kind of thing that resolves much more quickly and much more cleanly and much less harmfully than perhaps it would have in the past. And then the other thing is just generally my level of anxiety has just been gone completely down. I mean, I used to experience, before I did this 10-day retreat 3 months ago, I was having a lot of anxiety every day throughout the day. And since then I've had almost no anxiety. And generally throughout the day I feel optimistic, calm, excited. Life is just so much more enjoyable. And yeah, I spend 2 hours a day sitting quietly paying attention to my sensations, which is actually quite enjoyable. And it leads to every other hour of my day, the other 22 hours of my day, being way, way, way more pleasurable and more fulfilling. So maybe I'll see you in a month for another update.